We just went through the end of a calendar year. A beautiful 2025 is behind our backs, and we just welcomed the year 2026. Many has been said about the year we left behind our backs, a year of a lot of happenings, of a lot of beautiful change, and the closing of a cycle, right? If we know a little bit about numerology, we know that 2025 totals the number 9. That is widely well talked about over the internet. That is the number of the closing of cycles. And we know how hard it is to face the end of something. There is a lot to leave behind, to let go of, and there is a lot of accepting to do. We all agree in this part. And now we are welcoming the beginning of a new cycle, the beginning of a cycle of 9 years. But I would love to bring something really special today into light. And I think that a lot of you already saw this coming. But is the end of this year really the end of the year? Hi, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ligia, and this here is a safe space, a place to be yourself, free of judgment, a place of growth, a place of healing, a place of transformation, or a place to just be free, whatever that means to you. As we know, the calendar year was, if I'm not mistaken, invented around the time of the Roman Empire. It was mostly brought to us in order to control and to help understand the taxes, when to pay them, when not to pay them. Well, it was, let's say, a more politic and organizational measure of time than an actual measure of time. Because before we gave ourselves this way of measuring time, this calendar that we all use with 12 months, we moved along with the seasons, and we moved along with the rhythm of the earth and of our bodies. And if we think about this, the real beginning of the year would be in the spring equinox. Why? Because it's when the planets, the earth, is coming out of this state of winter, of hibernation, of where everything kind of dies and then gets ready to rebirth and reflourish in spring and live through another cycle, and then summer, and then we come into the cycle of winter again. This cycle not only represents the rhythm of the earth, but it also represents the rhythm of everything that lives. So my point with this is, imagine that you began this year and you have been hearing about beginning the new cycle, and everything has to now change. You finish this year, you have to wrap it up and begin everything again. But you may be feeling still in a state of hibernation. Maybe you are not yet ready to face the new year. You're not ready to face all of the challenges that you already proposed yourself. And yes, you have to challenge yourself. You have the right to make new plans and to want to turn the page, start a new cycle. But if you feel that somehow you're still in a state of rest, or you're still in a state of chrysalis, imagine in a growth state, you're not yet there and you are not completely ready to restart, that is totally fine. This is your body, your rhythm, your spirit, everything. And if your body, your spirit, your feelings anything, your nervous system is telling you, I am still not ready to start a new cycle. That means that for you, this cycle may not yet has ended. And that's totally okay. Just because we all move in a group from 2025 to 2026, it doesn't mean that your life needs to end there and restart here. Just because maybe the person beside you was able to close all their cycles, finish all of their businesses, and start all over again now in January 1st, it doesn't mean that that's how you move. And if you're still in a womb state, if you're in your chrysalis yet, and if you're still in your hibernation mode, and if you are still needing to wait for the sun, for the spring to help you flourish, that's okay. That is your rhythm. And actually, you may be even working at the same rhythm as nature, as the earth, and maybe you're working in a frequency that is the right one for you. We feel sometimes almost obligated to follow the tendency of the world. But what I feel when I tap into the energy of the new year, of the new calendar year, I feel that this year, the calendar year that starts now, only means to us that it's time for us to respect ourselves, respect the rhythm of our bodies. And if your body is not ready yet for the next phase, it's okay. Give yourself time. Just because January 1st hit your door, it doesn't mean that you now have to start right away with the things that you know you're going to start. And it also doesn't mean that because you were not able to start in January this year, that you're never going to start. It means that you're still in the process of getting there. And the process of getting there is so important. And my advice for myself and for everyone that is here in my channel is respect the process, respect your process, respect your rhythm, the way that you feel today. Because if you're today, you're not yet there, you're still need a few weeks of hibernation, your spirit is still involved and enveloped in this transformational period, in this transmutation of energies, that is totally fine. You know, we feel, like I said before, we feel almost compelled to just go on, and I have to go and turn it on even if I'm not yet completely full and charged of energy. And that doesn't mean it's true. Just because we feel like we have to doesn't need to mean that we have to. So what I came today here to say, and what I really would love to leave as a message in this video, is you don't have to turn the on button on January 1st of every year. You, the only thing you have to do is respect your own process, your own progress, your own rhythm. And if you didn't feel ready, it means you are not ready yet. And that only means that you are taking your time to recharge and do whatever you need to do in order to, when the spring knocks your door, when your spring equinox starts or happens, you will be ready to flourish, to come out of your chrysalis, to show the fruits of your labor, everything you've been doing until now. And I feel so deeply because I myself, I am experiencing the same. I have so many projects and I feel almost compelled because it's January 1st, 2026. It already happened. And I feel almost compelled. I should be further than where I am. I should feel different. It's the beginning of the cycle. So why do I still feel like I am in my chrysalis? Why do my wings still feel like they need to grow a little bit further and become stronger. It's because that's what I need. That's my rhythm. If I'm not ready to start my cycle yet, doesn't mean that I am weak or that it's never going to happen. And that was something that I had to accept myself. I had to sit with myself and find inner peace, find peace with my inner rhythm. And the way I found to do this was really simple, actually. I was laying on my bed just this night. I'm filming this January 2nd, 2026. And I was laying in my bed January 1st thinking, I am still not feeling like the cycle has begun, like the on button is on. And yeah, I know the year started and everything is already set in motion, but for me, it doesn't feel like that. And then I came across this information in in a short that I watched about the new year, and this information about the fact that the year really starts in the spring equinox, and that this calendar year is nothing more than something we invented to help ourselves. So I thought to myself, this is another proof of how much the more we are connected to the planet, to the nature, to earth, to everything around us, how much our bodies, our minds, everything, once we start looking for that in ourselves, once we start to find our own inner balance, respecting ourselves, and also respecting the way we feel, giving ourselves whatever self love we need, whatever self help we need, we start understanding that just as everything in nature, we also as living beings have our own rhythm, our own cycles, and nobody can tell me or you when your cycle begins. You know it, you feel it. And maybe many of you have felt this before. Like in one year, how many cycles did you live? I feel like in 2025, let's talk about this in calendar years. I feel like I went through so many cycles. Cycles that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Some were longer, some were shorter. But in one year, in those 12 months that we made up for ourselves, I went through many cycles. I went through many phases. And I felt like going into this womb state, this chrysalis, many times, and having to be reborn many times. Every time that we do something for ourselves, every time that we go deeper, every time that we decide to change something in our life, that we start to a new project, that you start a new study, whatever it is that you choose to do to change in your life, you start a new cycle. So no one can tell you when that time is up, when that time reaches its end, where you have to close the cycle and start a new one. So don't feel guilty if you don't feel ready to face your new year yet. Maybe your new year didn't start yet. Yes, we have a new number on the calendar. We started a new cycle of 12 months. But did your year really started in January 1st, 2026? How do you feel about it? And if you don't feel like that, if you're just like me and you're still hibernating, you're still in your chrysalis, you still feel like you need your coziness and that you're almost there, but you're not there yet, share it with us in the comments. Let us create a safe space where we can share this kind of thoughts, because I know how it is and how it feels to be pressured by all of these constructs that we give ourselves. And I want to be free of that. And I want you to feel free of that too. Just go with your flow and don't feel like you're failing or that you're missing out, or maybe if you don't start right now, you're never going to be there in time. You will, because if we start a cycle before we're ready for it, we are going to have to stop, to recalibrate, to imagine, to even recharge. And then the time that you take to start, actually start, is the same you would take if you would just take your time and then start when you're really ready for it. And I hope I am making myself clear here, that I am able to pass through what I really wanted to say. And I really wish you, if your cycle began in January 1st, I wish you all the best. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that you meet all the success that you deserve. And for those who don't feel like that's their time started already, maybe it will start in a month, in two, maybe it will start in the spring, in the summer. Don't feel guilty. I want to congratulate you because you are here, because you reached this point and you are respecting yourself. And by feeling and questioning yourself, am I ready or not? You are giving yourself the love that you deserve. And you are giving yourself the opportunity to start your cycle in the right moment. If you need any help in these kinds of moments, in the description below, I will leave you my email. If you need anything, any advice, any coaching, you can reach to me at any time. I would love to be there for you. And I believe that sharing experiences is the best way to overcome any kind of obstacle. So, my friend, Happy New Year. Happy new cycle, whatever you are in your cycle. May it be hibernation, may it be start, may it be middle. Happy cycle. And mwah, as always, I love you and welcome home.